It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the two teams who met in Super Bowl 22. It's the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders. And it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
Just outside of the nation's capital in nearby Landover, Maryland. Welcome in. We're getting a look at the enormous Northwest Stadium. Alongside my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and this is a matchup, Brock, that we may see many, many times in the future of this league. A couple of rookie starters leading their offenses at quarterback.
And that really does make it a measuring stick game for both of them, Kate. Rookie quarterbacks in the draft, they're always linked to each other. From the moment they're tabbed, the starters in their first season. And then when you get to look across and you get to play one, you know that both of them want to be the one who leads their guys to a win, because that's a victory that'll be talked about, well, for the rest of their rookie season and beyond.
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And we're off and running from Landover. This return starts at the 5. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken second in 2024, Jayden Daniels.
Jayden's the closest thing we've seen to Lamar Jackson. And while there's only one Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP, Jayden's going to push him a little bit in this league. He is a tremendous athlete. Over 1,000 yards rushing down the SEC. And he's just got the instincts, the feel to know when to run it. And, man, he can also sling it. A quick, compact, accurate release. I can't wait to watch this guy's skill set unfold in the NFL.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll run the draw with Robinson. And he gets him around 6 there. Talanoa Hufanga there to make the play. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
3rd and just 2 to go. Shotgun handoff now to Eckler. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down and they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a first down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. He finds Brown right side. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. That's 16 on the pickup. And the Commanders will have a first.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, well, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On 1st down, here's Daniels. Caught by Deebo Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 37. That's complete to Zach Ertz. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Well, they got him down before he could do any more damage in terms of yards. And that's no easy job, mind you, tackling a big tight end. But the main damage had already been done. He kept this drive going by getting beyond the line of gain.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. Completed over the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Again, Daniels to the air. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll go down here at the 16. They get 6 and a first down as well.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
That's taken in by Samuel. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Now the shotgun give to Eckler. And he only gets this one down to the 9. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3. Out of the gun, Daniels. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. A tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. Eckler goes up and over for the touchdown. The Commanders finish up an excellent opening series. It's an Austin Eckler touchdown. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. He fields it from the 8. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL. He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice game.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open and beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Nix from the gun. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. That's complete inside the 35. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos finish off their opening drive. Cortland Sutton, the touchdown. If anyone is still doubting that this guy has an NFL caliber arm, Brock, add that to the list of highlights he can use in his defense. That was an NFL throw.
And gotta be such a confidence builder. Yes, the game is faster. Yes, the windows are smaller. But when you execute with precision, touchdowns can follow.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Broncos start off well to tie things 7-7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Starting from the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. Back out run the Commanders for their second drive of the game. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
And you ask a lot of your defenders on that field. It is not easy to play defense in today's NFL. Not only stay in their assignment's hip pocket, but to make plays on the ball as it arrives. He was challenged with an intermediate throw, and he swatted it away with ease.
Second down and 10. Daniels. And down he goes. The Broncos got there. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Pretty even match in this first half, and you're just kind of waiting, right? You just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that could go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Gotta figure out this third down here. From the gun, it's Daniels. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Well, 3rd and 15, you don't see many of those picked up, partner, but they found a way.
That's one of those plays, Kate, where every position on the offense gets a gold star. They all did their job, enough protection to allow the quarterback time to find his receiver, who went all the way from the right side of the field to the left side of the field to do some damage.
Daniels on first down. He'll get this to Samuel. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
This really isn't a route designed for a lot of yards, Kate. You're just trying to get a small handful and move on to the next down. Stay in rhythm. But anytime you can work some magic after the catch and stretch it out, those are welcome bonus yards.
Shotgun snap to Daniels. He gets this one to McLaurin. And they bring him down around the 34.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
2nd and 3 now. From the 34. Finds him over the middle. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first. Option play, here's a give to Eckler. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. Commanders ball as we get back for the second, and they're thinking points. Working inside the red zone. Throw right side is caught by Samuel. And he's able to get this down to the 13. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
These stops, they don't always make the end-of-game highlight reels, but they absolutely should. The coaches and players know it. Offenses are always counting on yards on that type of run. And anytime it results in a loss, it could be a potential drive killer.
Daniels throwing on third. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with a quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
Matt Gay on to line up this field goal. This from 40 on the right hash. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that's going to break our tie and give him a 3-point advantage.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Marvin Mims now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton taking the field once again. And they have made it no secret that they want to go his way in this game, right? And the results so far, I'd say very promising. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. First run of the game for J.K. Dobbins. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Give that tackle to Johnny Newton. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against them. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
On 2nd down, here's Dobbins. He's going to snag a couple of yards charging up the gut. Frankie Louvu there for the tackle. Just a couple on the pickup there, so back-to-back runs leave him with a 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap to Nix. Searches from the pocket. This is hauled in by Ingram. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Here comes the Broncos punting unit. And we'll see how his debut offering goes. Fair catch made a little beyond the 20-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Commanders will go on offense. Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Play fake here. Daniels. He'll get it complete to Brian Robinson Jr. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Third and short, Daniels. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. New set of downs for him at the 38. First and 10 now. Here's Daniels. He's on the move. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Kate, speaking from experience here, what happens now with the third sack allowed, especially on an early down like that, is that head coach and coordinator going to have a conversation. Okay, we got to fix this. Do we slide? Do we chip? Do we keep more people in? Because the one thing you can't do is keep getting your quarterback hit.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Another try following the sack. He completes it in traffic. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
You know, I often say there is a fine line between aggressiveness and carelessness. And when you throw into double coverage, well, it can go either way. That time, a tremendous catch by his receiver on the other end.
They'll throw on third and long. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Commanders punting on fourth down, and they're going to bring out the ever-reliable lefty vets, Tressway. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. 58 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos get set to take over. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he takes this across. Nope, beg your pardon. They're going to spot him right at the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they need the same now here on third down.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
We've hit the 2-minute warning now from the nation's capital. The Broncos driving. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Out of the gun, it's Nix. On the move, headed right. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. The Commanders take a timeout. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They'll bring out the punter here. And this will be his second effort of the contest. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it's going to be their football coming up. Commanders starting out in a good spot this drive as they get set. 1st and 10. Finds a seam down the middle. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. 16 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. On 1st down, here's Daniels. That's complete. Here's Austin Eckler. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and a defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 47. He'll get this one to Brown. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. It's enough for a first down. Nice find by the rookie quarterback from LSU.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
That's complete. Here's Brown. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Washington calls it second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. All right, set now, 1st and 10. Again, Daniels to the air. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he's able to get this down to the 13. One last play before the break. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Only time left for one more snap, Brock, so they're going to run out their field goal unit. Already has one in this game, this from 30. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that'll double their lead to 6.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. A final throw before the break. Complete. It's Ingram. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. It's halftime from near the nation's capital. The Commanders pulling in front after 2. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both these teams ready for the fight ahead. We're ready to get back to it as well. And to do just that, we'll hand it back over to Kate and Brock.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Denver offense now with the football first to begin quarter number 3. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Throwing here, Nix. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
He's got the hook up to Ingram. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
First down, ball at the 36. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. They give to Dobbins to start the third. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Marshawn Lattimore up from the secondary for the stop.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Nix from the gun. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Here's Nix. Completed to Sutton. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And the Broncos will have a first down. The running back gets it on the draw. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Hey, even though that was an excellent run, I got to talk about the receivers here, Kate, because 9 times out of 10, you see a run like that in this league, 10+, you know those guys on the outside are doing their job, shining as blockers, keeping those defenders away from the back.
Throwing on first down, Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Hauled down that time by Jonathan Jones. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 23. Finds him over the middle. And he's able to get this down to the 13. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the first down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
From the red zone now. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the second half of a 1-score game.
And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now. They made a great play. Don't get me wrong. They deserve a ton of credit right there. But as a quarterback, you cannot risk a turnover. It's touchdown, it's check down, it's throw the ball away. You're literally throwing points away with that pick.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Robinson. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. One of the tight ends motioning right. Now Daniels off the play action. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Now hang on. Looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. So the big play moves him well past midfield, has him set up now at the 35. Daniels on first down. Has a man, it's Ertz. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
From the gun, it's Daniels. Short pass brought in. And he'll go down here at the 16. Second and 3 now. An option give to Robinson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the first down.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Daniels. That's incomplete left side.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Daniels from the pistol. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't. So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
For the 3rd time today, we see them setting up for a field goal. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that'll make it a 2-score game.
So many of these players on the field, Kate, they just strive for consistency, but not the kickers. They strive for perfection, and so far, he's just that.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Broncos running their offense out once again. And a nice drive last time out, Brock, squandered by that interception. So I think they take a repeat of everything except that final play. This is hauled in by Ingram. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 31. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sell that flat route, break it off to an angle, and break off the 1st down.
Mix off the play action. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off. That's Bobby Wagner.
Well, that's now his 2nd time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Kate. You know, with these interceptions and now the 2nd on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
The Commanders are ready to go on offense, and we'll get a look at Deebo Samuel. They managed 3 on their last drive, but down inside the red zone, disappointing not to come away with a touchdown. 1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
That's now a handful of sacks for the defense and a handful of bruises for the quarterback. Consider this, Kate. Truly elite defenses in this league, well, they average just over 3 sacks a game during an entire season. You put up 5 in a contest, you're playing like one of the league's best.
All right, here we go. Second down. Trying again, following the sack. This ball's cut by McCaffrey. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Back to throw. Here's Daniels. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's able to cross midfield before going out.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. That excitement brings us to the end of the quarter. They'll have a shiny new set of downs to play with to start the 4th. It's Broncos football. They're on a mission here. They trail entering the 4th. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And he's brought down up across the 30-yard line. 3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. To throw, here's Nix. Setting up the running back screen. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Escapes the pocket.
What a great play by the defense. Play breaks down, but that defense stays disciplined. Nobody loses control, and they end up stopping him for a loss.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Nix. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. He's got it inside the 10. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. Is in, it's a Denver touchdown. The Broncos have cut it to a 3-point game here in the 4th. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Lutz there to tack on the extra point. And the Broncos cut the lead down to just 2. We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. This return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Commanders and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. That's incomplete, trying to set up the screen there.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Completed left side to Samuel. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Play fake here. Daniels. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
The Commanders ready for the punt. It'll be Tress Way doing the honors. And he's brought down before the return gets far. And that punt reaches 50 yards. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Denver set to take the field on offense. They really have the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Play action with Nix. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Nix from the gun. Mims with the grab. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
Now Nix on 3rd down. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. Tried getting it to Cortland Sutton, and that leaves them with 4th and 5.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
Got all of it, and this is good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Okay, you remember when Sebastian Janikowski was taken in the 1st round by the Raiders? It was because he could make kicks of this distance. Today, boy, we see kickers seemingly every week getting this job done, but it doesn't in any way minimize the accomplishment.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Kickoff taken at the 3. This return makes it up to the 25. The Commanders ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. 1st and 10, a run to Robinson. And they needed more than one defender there. Powerful runner, stopped for just 1 yard.
It's plays like that, Kate, that I'm happy I'm the color analyst and you and your spotter are doing play-by-play, because that was a massive humanity, a whole bunch of bodies to sort through for 1 yard.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. That's McLaurin on the quick slant. And that will not be enough for a first down. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Here's Robinson up the middle. And he's brought down for a loss.
You felt it the second this play bounced toward the outside, this defense responded. They pounced. That was their chance to get to him before he could get the couple inches he needed for a first down.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And he'll try to hit this one well. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. Starts his return from the 23. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And they're going to take over possession. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. So that brings up 2nd down. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice. That one came with a higher degree of difficulty. He had to balance focusing on the catch while staying in bounds.
Commanders with an extra DB out there to defend this 3rd down. Looking to throw. He's going deep this time. They did it. He made the interception. And the Commanders have some new life in the 4th.
Well, I'll admit, man, I got to admire the guts, the willingness to continue to challenge the coverage, even with 2 interceptions already. But there's his 3rd strike. And no, it's not baseball, but he definitely has to be smarter with what he's doing with the football.
The Commanders all set to regain possession. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Commanders starting out in a good spot this drive as they get set. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Daniels. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Daniels. Has him on the quick hitter. And this goes across midfield and into Broncos territory. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in D.C. Commanders down by only 1. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Looking to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
You know, the goal on a lot of these short throws is to simply let the receiver create some yards after the catch, before he actually secured the catch.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Looking to throw it. He connects downfield on 4th. And he's taken down at the 30. They hit for 16 yards on 4th down, and a drive we all thought had stalled out is going to carry on.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure of the drive's right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
1st and 10 now from the 30. They send him left out of the slot. Robinson on the inside give. And they make the tackle at the 28-yard line. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Here's a give up the middle. And he gets this forward to the 19. Timeout taken by the defense, their second. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. This is hauled in by McLaurin. And he's able to get this down to the 13. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Here's Robinson. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Now, they've certainly got the field goal in their back pocket, but they're going to try for the touchdown first here and goal to go. Setting up to pass. He's on the move. And he will score and give them the lead in the final minute. So what a finish this is shaping up to be. The late touchdown here, Brock, moves them in front.
And week to week, what a pleasure it is for us to call these games. We never know what kind of game we're going to get. This one's been everything you could have wanted. And now, even though they've taken the lead, there's still enough time on that other sideline for them to go mount a response.
He'll look to throw it. Oh, and he's got a man open. Complete. And he gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That puts them in a much better spot now. Up 7 here in the 4th. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Has this at the 6. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Broncos and quarterback Bo Nix gearing up for their next series. And I don't think we can really call these highlights, partner. Shall we just call them replays as we re-examine his performance so far in this one? 3 interceptions mixed in among his work. It's really limited a lot of what he's been able to do out there. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. Pass taken in by Sutton. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Back to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. And that leaves him with 3rd and short.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
Cut by Sutton. And he'll get it up to the 44. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. Broncos have to hurry here. Clock's still running. They'll throw again. Nix. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
That was a situation where he got the time in the pocket he needed. There just wasn't anyone open to throw it to. It got to the point he had 2 choices as that clock is going off in his head. Force a throw and risk a pick, or just get rid of it and cut your losses on the play.
One final shot here. Need this to force overtime. And we all saw it. Flag came out just before that one fell incomplete. They may still get some big yards out of this one. Ball game's not over just yet. Don't leave those seats. The interference call means we're going to have an untimed down here. Rolling left behind, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. So score this as a win for the Commanders. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Commanders, as with that, we sign off from DC.